Today we'll discuss fetal circulation. Okay. The developing fetus it receives its nutrition from the placenta, and the fetus is dependent on the mother for this, for nutrients and oxygen intake, and carbon dioxide and waste product excretion. Okay, all this occurs through the placenta. So, what are the special structures in the fetal circulation? Placenta, umbilical vein, umbilical arteries, foramen ovale, and ductus arteriosus. All these structures are not present in adult. Okay, only in fetal life these structures are present, and after that some obliterates and placenta is removed. Okay, what are the peculiarities of fetal circulation? Okay, fetal circulation is important short note and also can come as a part of the long question. Okay, fetal circulation. So it these are the peculiarities of the fetal circulation. Blood shunts three times. Okay, one is within the liver through the ductus venosus, second is through the foramen ovale, and third is through the ductus arteriosus. So at this three level, shunting of blood occurs. And there is regulation of oxygenated blood in the fetal circulation. Mixing of oxygenated and venous blood occurs within the liver when the inferior vena cava carries the deoxygenated blood from the lower limbs and oxygenated blood coming through the umbilical vein. And transseptal blood circulation through the foramen ovale, transseptal blood circulation occurs, and length of the upper limb is more in the fetus as upper limb part receives more blood than the lower limb part. Okay, during first stage of development this occurs. So the fetal circulation system is distinctly different from the adult circulation, and the fetus receives oxygen and nutrient from the placenta for the development, and normal fetal heart rate is between 110 to 160 beats per minute. Okay, in adults heartbeat ranges from 70 to 100. Okay, but in fetus it is 110 to 160 beats per minute, and fetus must have blood flow to the placenta. By the third month of development, all the major blood vessels are present in the fetus and they function. Okay? And there are several temporary structures in addition to the placenta and umbilical cord, and that enable the fetal circulation. Those ductus venosus, ductus arteriosus, those are temporary structures. Next. So the circulation of blood from the placenta to and through the fetus and back to the placenta is known as the fetal circulation. So this is the definition of the fetal circulation. And the fetal circulation is a circulation of oxygenated blood, deoxygenated blood, and nutritive material, etc. in the fetus from the mother. Okay. Next. What is the function of fetal circulation? The fetal circulatory system, it provides the fetus with the nutrients and oxygen while removing waste product and carbon dioxide from the fetal circulation. Next. So these we will discuss the temporary structures, okay, in details. So first is umbilical vein. This umbilical vein, see this thick structure which carries blood from placenta to the fetus, oxygenated blood from placenta to the fetus, this is umbilical vein. So umbilical vein is a vein that carries oxygenated blood and nutrients from the placenta to the fetal body. Okay. Next is there are two umbilical arteries. These are branches of iliac arteries. Okay. Mainly internal iliac, branches of internal iliac arteries, and returning the deoxygenated blood from the fetus back to the placenta. So this is the function of two umbilical arteries. Next, see here. So this is placenta, the thick structure. This red colored one is the umbilical vein. and which is carrying oxygenated blood to the fetus through the umbilical cord. And these two are the branches of internal iliac artery, and these are umbilical arteries which are carrying deoxygenated blood from the fetus to the placenta. And see here, after entering, the deoxygenated blood enters through the umbilical vein, and this umbilical vein enters the liver. It is giving branches to the liver, and some part of the blood is directly shunted via the ductus venosus into the inferior vena cava. Okay, and here mixing of blood occurring. Blood is coming from lower limb via the inferior vena cava, and it is joining with the oxygenated blood coming from the placenta. And then after that, through the inferior vena cava, it is entering into the right atrium. Okay. From the right atrium, most of the blood shunts through here. It is mixing with the blood coming from the superior vena cava also. Okay, and most of the blood is bypassing the right ventricle. Normally from right atrium it passes into right ventricle, and then via the pulmonary trunk into the lungs. Okay, for in normal adult life. But here in fetus, after entering the right atrium, most of the blood bypasses through the foramen oval, enter into the left atrium. Okay, and from the left atrium it enters into left ventricle, and through the aorta it is distributed to the rest of the body, distributed via the aorta through the rest of the body. And the blood which rest of the blood which was entering into the right ventricle, they are entering through the pulmonary trunk, and here also another shunting is occurring. Here most of the blood enters via the ductus arteriosus from the pulmonary trunk into the aorta, and very small amount of blood is going to the pulmonary circulation for the development of the lungs. Okay, and this most of the blood is distributed to the rest of the part of the body through the aorta and its different branches. And in adult life, these structures are obliterated. See, these umbilical arteries, they obliterate and form the superior vesical artery and medial umbilical ligaments. Left umbilical vein, only one vein is present. Right vein is disappears. Okay, only left umbilical vein is present, and it forms the ligamentum teres hepatis. You have seen near the falciparum ligament, lower margin of falciparum ligament lies this ligamentum teres hepatis, and the ductus venosus which forms the ligamentum venosus. It fibrous and obliterated to form the ligamentum venosus, and ductus arteriosus fibrous and form the ligamentum arteriosus. Okay, so these are the embryonic structures, and they are remnants remaining in the adult life. Next. So next is the ductus venosus. Ductus venosus means a duct from one vein to another vein, and it is the continuation of the umbilical vein, and it conveys 85% of the oxygenated blood. As it passes into the fetal abdomen, it gives branches to the liver, and after bypassing the liver, it joins to the inferior vena cava, and that is called ductus venosus. Okay, next. So 85% of blood is shunted directly through the ductus venosus. Rest 15% is entering into the circulation of liver and passing through the hepatic veins into the inferior vena cava. And this causing mixing of the oxygenated blood from the placenta with the deoxygenated blood from the lower half of the fetal body coming through the inferior vena cava. Next. See there, you practice a schematic diagram like this for fetal circulation. Okay, so this is the umbilical opening. These are coming through the umbilical cord, umbilical vein to umbilical arteries. Umbilical vein entering into the liver through the ductus venosus. It is joining with the inferior vena cava, then going to the right atrium. Most of the blood is shunting through foramen oval, passing through passing to the left atrium, then left ventricle, then going towards the aorta and distributed to the body. And some of the blood passing through the, from superior vena cava comes the blood from the upper limbs and upper half of the body, and these bloods are shunting through the, from right atrium to the left right ventricle and through the pulmonary trunk. Here again another shunting through the ductus arteriosus, and it is joining with the aorta and distributed to the rest of the body. And very small part of blood is going to the pulmonary circulation for development of the lungs. Next is foramen oval. Foramen oval, it is a oval opening, and it is an opening in the septum, interatrial septum between the right atrium and left atrium of the fetal heart. And the foramen oval is constructed with a valve or flap on the left side of the septum. Okay. Next, see here, this is the foramen oval. See, this is, you have read the development of interatrial septum. Septum primum is joining with the endocardial cushion, and this is septum secundum. So in between the septum primum and secundum, foramen oval is formed, and this is forming the flap on the left side, the septum primum, previously joined with the endocardial cushion. So this is the direction of blood flow through the patent foramen oval. Okay, from mainly occurs from right atrium to left atrium in the fetal life. And if it remains patent in adult life, then opposite direction of flow occurs, because in adult left side pressure will increase. Okay. Next is ductus arteriosus. It means duct from one artery to another artery from pulmonary trunk, mainly left branch of the pulmonary trunk to the aorta. Okay, it is connecting left branch of pulmonary trunk to the aorta. So it is a duct which leads from the junction of the pulmonary artery to the descending aorta. And as the lungs are not functioning, most of the blood is diverted via this ductus arteriosus into the descending arch of aorta, descending thoracic aorta. Next. So see here, this is ductus arteriosus connecting the left branch of the pulmonary artery with the descending aorta. And this connection occurs up distal to these three branches of arch of aorta. Okay. And in some adult life, if it remains patent, there will be cyanosis in the patient, because there will be mixing of blood through this patent duct from the right atrium, from the right side with the blood of the left side. Okay. Next. So important clinical aspect we will learn in the pediatrics, patent ductus arteriosus. Important cause of cyanosis in children. So next is, so this flow chart represents the circulation, whole circulation. So first, the umbilical vein transports the blood rich in oxygen and nutrient from the placenta to the fetal body. Then the umbilical vein enters the body through the umbilical ring and travels along the abdominal wall to the liver. Okay. Next, about half of the blood it carries passes into the liver, and where it gives off a branch to the liver and later joins the inferior vena cava via the hepatic vein. And here the other half of the blood bypasses the liver through a shunt called the ductus venosus. Okay. Next, and after that the blood then travels to the heart through the inferior vena cava and mixes with the deoxygenated blood returning from the superior vena cava and empties into the right atrium of the heart. After that, the fetal lungs are not functioning, and most of the blood bypasses the right ventricle and to be shunted to the left atrium via the foramen oval. Okay, 1/3 of the blood is shunted through the foramen oval and 2/3 passes to the normal pathway, right ventricle. Next, and some blood will enter from the right atrium to the right ventricle and proceed into the pulmonary trunk. However, most of the blood will be shunted away from the pulmonary trunk and into the aorta via the ductus arteriosus. Another shunting. Okay. Next, a little blood travels to the lungs in the pulmonary artery for the development of the lungs, and the rest of the blood travel down the descending aorta and mixing with the deoxygenated blood from the right ventricle. And the rest of the blood passes into the umbilical artery. It is going downwards through the descending thoracic aorta and then abdominal aorta, then towards the iliac branches, and from the internal iliac arteries arises the umbilical arteries, and blood will return by the umbilical arteries to the placenta. Okay. So the rest of the blood passes into the umbilical arteries and which branch from the internal iliac arteries, branch of descending aorta and lead to the placenta. And the placenta reoxygenates the blood returning from the umbilical arteries and repeat the fetal cardiovascular system. Again, reoxygenation occurs, again passing through the umbilical vein, going towards the fetus, and all the circulation again occurs. Okay. So this is the fetal circulation. This flow chart you have to write down. If it comes as a short note, this flow chart you write down, and you write down and remember the remnants of all the temporary structure. Very important for your viva and the MCQs. Okay. And you practice a schematic diagram for the circulation. Next. Okay, so whole of the circulation: placenta, umbilical vein, ductus venosus entering into IVC, right atrium through the foramen oval into the left atrium, left ventricle, aorta, and from right atrium to right ventricle, pulmonary trunk through the ductus arteriosus into the aorta, into the iliac arteries, and from the internal iliac arising umbilical arteries and entering into the placenta. So this is the whole circulation. Okay. Next. Okay, so what are the circulatory changes occurs at birth? Okay, this is also asked in long question. You will be asked fetal circulation and changes occurring after birth. Okay. So on birth, the newborn starts respiration and lungs take over the functions of the placenta, and this produces this following changes. What are the changes? Muscle contraction in the umbilical arteries will occlude their lumen and prevents the blood loss. Okay, and umbilical vein contracts few minutes after the umbilical arteries, and this mechanism allows the newborn to receive more blood from the placenta, stopping the blood flow towards the placenta by contraction of arteries. Okay, and vein will contract later, so most of the blood enters into the fetus. Okay, an occlusion of ductus arteriosus, it diverts the right ventricular blood to the lungs. Okay. When the child starts crying after the birth, the lungs becomes activated. Okay. Next. Next, there will be closure of the foramen oval due to increased pressure in the left atrium, going to increase volume of blood that returns from the lung. Okay. Most of the blood, due to obliteration of ductus arteriosus, most of the blood going to the lungs. So so large amount of blood will return to the left atrium, and the foramen oval will be closed. Okay, due to increased pressure in the left atrium. And the embryonic communications close by vasoconstriction physiologically and soon after the birth, and later by proliferation of the intima layer of the blood vessel. This is anatomical closure. And complete obliteration of the lumen of the umbilical arteries and ductus arteriosus take place in 2 to 3 months after the birth. And anatomical closure of the foramen oval takes in about 1 year. Okay. Next. So these are the changes. Embryonic structure, umbilical arteries will form, superior vesical artery and median umbilical ligament. Left umbilical vein is forming ligamentum teres hepatis. Ductus venosus is forming ligamentum venosum, and ductus arteriosus is forming ligamentum arteriosum. And these changes occurs at birth. There will be contraction of the umbilical arteries. See, these are the umbilical arteries, they will contract. Contraction of umbilical vein few minutes after the artery. This umbilical vein is contract later than the arteries. And occlusion of ductus arteriosus here, this ductus arteriosus will close to form ligamentum arteriosus, and closure of the foramen oval here. Foramen oval will close because increased pressure in the left atrium. It will form ligamentum arteriosum. Okay. So foramen oval is form the fossa ovalis, okay, in the interatrial septum. Next. Okay, so foramen oval is form the fossa ovalis, and all this we have discussed. Ductus arteriosus, ligamentum arteriosum, ductus venosus, ligamentum venosum, umbilical arteries form the umbilical ligaments, and some part remains as superior vesical artery. Umbilical vein will form the ligamentum teres hepatis. Okay. Next. So this is the summarization of the fetal circulation. What occurs through the blood vessels in the umbilical cord, the fetus receives all the necessary nutrition, oxygen, and life support from the mother through the placenta, and waste product and carbon dioxide from the fetus are sent back through the umbilical cord and placenta into the mother. Okay. So this is the summarization of the fetal circulation. Okay, understood? So here umbilical vein is carrying oxygenated blood and umbilical artery is carrying deoxygenated blood from fetus to the mother. So this you will remember. Generally veins carries deoxygenated normally in adult life. Only one exception for the pulmonary vein and pulmonary arteries. Okay. Prepare the fetal circulation as a short note or 7 marks question like this, or part of the long question, and the changes after birth, what changes occurs after birth, and the different remnants of the temporary structures, that are so important for your theory and viva. Okay.